Hi, Karen. It's Bruce. It's 11 o'clock on Tuesday. Just wanted to know, I'm taking a load of stuff to the dump today. If there's anything you want to go, can you put it out front in front of the garage with all the other stuff I'm going to take around noonish at your place or something like that, and maybe 1 o'clock. Okay? Thanks. Bye.
She said they would show up.
In part 1 of my series RedRum, the Barry and Honey Sherman case will forever remind me that the Toronto police failed in their attempts to solve their murders. Part 2 of my series delves into the Bruce McArthur case, where again, the futile investigation by the Toronto police into the 8 murders left the public wondering if they are capable of conducting a proper and thorough investigation. When I was a police officer in Toronto, the Bruce McArthur case was in full swing. It was shocking to see the Toronto police try and solve these murders. Murders which spanned over 7 years. The lackluster investigation was nothing short of a farce. If the Toronto police just focused on the evidence and followed the trail, more men could have been saved from the hands of the serial killer. This is Mad Lab Press. A few weeks ago, I found myself in the heart of Toronto's gay village, a place where a serial killer once roamed, a place where, since the 1970s, has been a target for multiple murders on gay men. I was filming part of this documentary here and had a chance to speak with members of the village who are more than familiar with Bruce McArthur. Although very aware, they did not want to speak on camera. There are still 8 unsolved homicides involving men in the gay village from the 1970s. At that time, Bruce McArthur worked within walking distance of the gay village, where the missing men lived and frequented. Bruce McArthur would have been, at that time, in his mid-20s. The gay community pleaded with the police to look into a serial killer back then, but the Toronto police ignored their warnings. In early April of 2001, Bruce McArthur had followed a mail home from a bar in the gay village. Once the mail arrived at his apartment door, McArthur bashed the male's skull in with a pipe, leaving him to die. McArthur left the scene, only to turn himself in at Toronto Police Headquarters a few hours later. McArthur was getting ahead of the situation, tricking police at this time. McArthur was interviewed by detectives where he had stated that he was off his meds and had no other explanation for what he had done. McArthur was arrested at this time, eventually attending court where he was given probation and a 1-year ban from the gay village. McArthur never served jail time for this assault. So prior to this, McArthur was recently divorced from his wife. He had 2 kids. He had claimed bankruptcy and was now out as a gay man. Now the Toronto police had McArthur on file for assault, and he was now on CPIC, the Canadian Police Information Centre. After escaping jail time from 2001 to 2010, McArthur now scoured the gay village for hookups where he met his victims. This is Skanda Navarathnam. He was 40 years old. Skanda was last seen leaving a bar called Zippers in the heart of the gay village with a white male. The Toronto police now know that white male was Bruce McArthur. Skanda wasn't seen for the next 7 years.
The kids are devastated, his wife is as well, because now she has to take care of 2 kids, work, and it's very hard for them.
He's known for his love of Indian Bollywood movies, and especially their songs.
So what we now know, that in 2011, Peel police were investigating the disappearance of Abdul Basir. Abdul Basir's wife had contacted the Peel police and reported him missing, but she had no idea about the double life he was leading. After further investigation, Peel police scoured Basir's computer, where they found bondage websites and chat logs where he was speaking to a person with the name of Silver Fox. Now, during this investigation, they performed undercover work in the gay village on Church Street. They also sent in undercover officers to the Black Eagle Bar on Church Street, a bar where Andrew Kinsman once worked. One Peel police detective saw a missing persons poster in the second cup on Church Street of the first missing male, Skanda Navarathnam. She put 2 and 2 together, contacted the Toronto Police Homicide Unit, and left a voicemail advising she believed her case, Abdul Basir, and the Toronto Police case of Navarathnam were possibly linked by a serial killer. The Toronto Police Homicide Unit never returned her voicemail. So not after hearing back from the Toronto Police, she sent this email.
We're presently investigating a missing person, Abdul Basir Faizi. We came across your missing person case, Skanda Navarathnam. There's many similarities. We feel that it's necessary to proceed with power casing our case.
So basically, it's to tell him this is very serious.
It's
this
very
is a
serious.
Homicide, right? Only a homicide go in power case and sexual assault.
So we also feel that your case and our case could be possibly connected somehow. So this is sent in January 2011. So 21st of January 2011. So this is just a few weeks.
Yeah.
A few weeks after Faizi's gone missing, and you've already, in black and white, you've connected it to Skanda Navarathnam.
Yeah.
And you didn't get any response to that.
No.
That could have changed everything.
Could. Yeah. Absolutely.
So not hearing back from the Toronto Police, the Peel police case went cold. In 2012, the Toronto Police initiated an investigation called Project Houston, as in, Houston, we have a problem. This project supposedly focused on the missing men, but nothing came of it. For the next few years, Bruce McArthur laid low, also getting a pardon for his 2001 assault conviction, taking him off the radar as a suspect. Toronto Police later came out and advised they possessed information in 2013 that Abdul Basir had links to McArthur, but deemed that information circumstantial. How could they deem that information circumstantial? It was right there in front of them. They further advised that they could not find Peel Detective Catherine's email about the possible link between Abdul Basir and Navarathnam. They also deny getting a voicemail from Detective Catherine. Now, in 2013, the Toronto police obtained information from the police in Switzerland, who had information about a confidential informant who was speaking to a male online named Silver Fox. Now, this person named Silver Fox admitted to killing a brown male in Toronto's gay village. This information from the informant was given to the Toronto police, who then had McArthur come in for an interview. McArthur eventually leaving. At the time of this interview, the Toronto police advised they had no access to the 2001 pipe assault McArthur committed. The Toronto police said even if they did have that information, it would have no impact on their investigation. Now, this was the second time they had McArthur within their sights, but let him go due to shoddy and careless police investigations. Sarosh Mahmoudi, 50 years old at the time of his death, was killed on or about August 15th, 2015. He was reported missing by his family in East Toronto. A ligature was used in Mahmoudi's death, which was sexual in nature. Later, we will find out that that coat found in McArthur's van contained Mahmoudi's DNA. The same coat was connected to the staging of other deceased victims.
Finally managed to slowly pull my arm out. When he saw that, he let go. And though even it stunk inside that van, that first breath of fresh air was sweet. It's called 911.
You called the police straight away?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody just tried to strangle me. Bathrooms once. Some guy just tried to strangle me to death.
Who did?
I'm on the phone with 911. He didn't say anything. He just got into his driver's seat and started taking off.
Okay, Bruce. Well, for a while, we were trying to make out once in a while. All of a sudden, he started to strangle me. Okay, he's going south now.
Let him go. You have a license. Let him go.
Just like in 2001, McArthur was now heading to 32 Division to cover his tracks and try and throw detectives off.
Okay, sir. So just before we begin here, I just want to let you know that we are being audio and video recorded right now because there's a camera just up in the corner, and this device up here is a microphone, so it's picking up everything that we say. Okay. Okay. The time right now is 10:17 p.m. And today's date is Monday, June the 20th, 2016. My name is Detective Paul Gauthier, Gauthier, badge number 5371 of 32 Division. My partner here is
Constable Dunning, 10055, 32 Division.
Okay, sir, and your name is?
Bruce McArthur.
And if you could spell it for me, please.
B-R-U-C-E, and McArthur, M, small c, capital A-R-T-H-U-R.
Okay, sir. And right now, you're under arrest. You're placed under arrest this evening for the offense of assault, okay? You've been brought here to 32 Division for the purposes of being investigated for that offense, okay? Right. So a few minutes ago, we just had a brief conversation. I introduced myself, and I gave you an opportunity to provide a statement, and you said that you wanted to do so. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And at the same time, I also asked you if you wanted to speak to a lawyer before doing so. I'm going to ask you again, do you wish to do that before we begin?
No, it's fine.
Okay, sir. So, an allegation has been made against you, and this officer in just a moment is going to let you know exactly what that allegation is, okay? What I'm going to do to you right now is just read you a caution and let you know that you're being investigated for the offense of assault, okay? You're not obliged to say anything unless you wish to do so, but whatever you say may be given in evidence. Do you understand?
I do.
Okay. Do you wish to say anything in answer to the charge? Again, do you wish to provide us a statement with some clarity as to what happened? Okay. So just understand, sir, again, you're not under any obligation to give us the statement whatsoever. You're allowed to cease communicating with us at any time, but we're certainly giving you an opportunity to present your side of the story. So this officer is just going to give you an overview here of what's being alleged, okay?
So the allegations are that around 6:30 p.m. this evening, you met up with a gentleman by the name of at the intersection of Bathurst and Finch. During the course of your involvement with him, there was an allegation made of assault, which in choking was the allegation made, and that's basically why you're under arrest today for that assault.
Okay.
Okay.
So, sir, if you would like to provide us with your account of what occurred earlier this evening.
Well, we talked about going for dinner, and he said he needed to take a shower, so I said I'd meet him at the Tim Hortons at Finch and Bathurst. And so he arrived, and we were going to have sex, and he suggested do it in the back of his truck since it hadn't been used yet. It was a brand new truck. I said, well, there's more room in the back of my van. So we went to my van. And we started kissing, and I put my hand down his pants, and he wanted me to squeeze his penis, but then he said he wanted harder, to pinch it, to pinch and pinch and pinch as hard as I could. So I did. And he got aroused by that. And so then I thought, okay, he likes it rough, so I put my hand to his throat, and just for a few seconds, because before that he's very strong, he just completely turned around and grabbed me by the throat. He said, now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to you. And he had me by the throat to the point that I couldn't breathe, so I put my hands up in the air like surrender, because I couldn't talk, and that's when he finally let go.
This interview with detectives from 32 Division lasted 11 minutes. The Toronto Police chalked this up to a misunderstanding, and charges were dropped. McArthur was free to go again. Now, this was the third time the Toronto Police had McArthur, but let him go. The pipe assault in 2001, the Silver Fox interview in 2015, and now this arrest for strangling a male. At the time of his last interview with police, McArthur had already murdered 4 men. On June 26, 2017, Andrew Kinsman met Bruce McArthur a few blocks away from his home. You can see Kinsman enter McArthur's van. That was the last time Kinsman was seen alive. The police, after receiving backlash from the public, searched Kinsman's home. They found a scribble on a notepad hanging on Kinsman's wall. That note said, "Bruce, 3 p.m. We now know that McArthur had taken Kinsman to an undisclosed location and murdered him. Toronto police now began to look for a red 2004 Dodge Caravan. If they had done a thorough and proper investigation, they should have known that in 2016, Bruce McArthur was arrested for assault, where he tried to strangle a male, in the same 2004 red Dodge Caravan Andrew Kinsman was last seen in. It wasn't until August 2017 that the Toronto police started to view video from the area where Kinsman went missing. That was 2 months after Kinsman went missing. Out of 6,000 Reg Dodge Caravans in Toronto, there were only 5 with the owner's name of Bruce. Now, after Kinsman goes missing, the Toronto police yet again start a new project called Project Prism. This project was started only because of public backlash into the unsolved murders of 6 men at this time. Once McArthur got wind of this new project, he took his van east of Toronto to a local auto wreckers and dumped the van. It wasn't until a few months later the Toronto police located McArthur's van at the auto wreckers and began to perform DNA analysis. They find blood spots in the rear of the van that match Kinsman's, but do not make an arrest at this time, as they say there was not enough evidence. McArthur was now placed under surveillance. During the search of McArthur's apartment, police say they found thousands of images of men and pornography. Toronto police also advised they had found images of Salim and Andrew Kinsman dead. After killing his victims, McArthur would often shave their heads bald, dress them in a fur coat, the same fur coat from the assault in 2016 in McArthur's van. McArthur would then stick a cigar in their mouths and take photos of the deceased bodies. In total, there were 18 images of Andrew Kinsman deceased in McArthur's bed. So for the final time, the Toronto police made yet another mistake. When they followed McArthur home with that unknown male, they did not have undercover officers waiting on the 19th floor. In fact, they didn't even have undercover officers in the building itself. When McArthur arrived home, he and the unknown male made their way to apartment 1915. Enough time for McArthur to strip the man, cover his head with a hood, and chain him to the bed. It took the Toronto police almost 12 minutes to reach the McArthur's apartment, where they made the arrest. I've always been curious where all the bodies were in the forest behind the house on Mallory Crescent. So a few days ago, I went to the scene to see for myself. I thought it would make for a good ending to this film.
Looking back on the investigation, how do you feel police did?
I think we did a phenomenal job catching this guy.
But then I started to think about how all of this could have been avoided if the Toronto police would have conducted a proper investigation. An investigation that took 7 years and many lives lost.
Are there things that we could have done better? Absolutely.
What are those things that could have been done better?
Well,